Greetings, dear friends, dear family. We're coming to the time of Bealtaine. It's Samhain for our family in the southern hemisphere and Bealtaine here in the northern hemisphere. Bealtaine would be the second most powerful of the turnings of our wheel. It's the time of the tribes gathering and coming together. It's the time of great festivities, of the great fires, and it's the time of the Ban Fesh, when traditionally a chieftain would lie with a priestess of Maeve on Maeve's Rath and just beneath Tara, and from their union, their sexual union, would come the fertility of all the land. And so it was a time of merrymaking, a time of coming together, a time when couples would perhaps begin to look for each other. Women traditionally in Ireland could divorce at any time of the year. Men could only divorce at Bealtaine. So it was often a time when they would be looking out for, for a partner. And it's the time of the flowering on the wheel. It's the time of awakening to our passion, awakening to that which moves us, that which motivates us in life, not just sexual passion, but what passions do you have? How do you express your passion? How do you feel it? Do you actually eat and drink of life? Because that's what life is calling for you to do, to eat of it and drink of it, to have experiences, not to observe, not to watch life pass you by, but to actually jump in and have the experiences, because it's through the experiences that we grow. It's through the experiences that we begin to gather our teachings. We begin to gather all that we have learned. That becomes part of what in time others might draw from, might call upon through us. And because of what we've experienced, we are able to know where they are at. We are able to feel where they are at. And so the time of Bealtaine, the time of merrymaking, the time when the hawthorn begins to show her flowers. The hawthorn is the fairy tree. And in Ireland, it's unlucky to cut a hawthorn, because it is the fairy tree. And where my father came from in Wexford, they would often take an old bush of a hawthorn, a dying bush or a dead bush, and they would drag it through the villages, through the towns, and people would come out and they would tie bits of ribbon, bits of cloth to the old part of the hawthorn, and they would bring it up to the new thorn, the new hawthorn that was growing, and place it down. And it was their connection to the fairy folk. It was their connection to those who are betwixt and between, who are less than a breath away from us, that so many have now forgotten. And I think the magic of sharing the stories with the children is so invaluable. It reminds them of the magic that actually is in our lives, the magic that is in ourselves, our magic nation, allowing us to stretch beyond that which we are being programmed into, so we can begin to see, we begin to feel what is beyond us, what is around us, and recognize we are not the only living energies in this space, but we actually share this space. We share it with the fairy folk, the good folk. We share it with our ancestors. And opening to that, being aware of that. That this time of Bealtaine, the time of merrymaking, the time when the tribes would come together. In each province, there would be a place where the great fires would be held. And in the very centre of Ireland, Adushnook would be the great fire temple. And it's said that on the night of Bealtaine Eve, all the fires in Ireland would go out. And on the morning of Bealtaine, runners would take lights from the fire temple and they would start running through the land, and other runners would come and take lights from them, and other runners lights from them, until it's said that on the night of Bealtaine, it was said that every fire was lit from the one fire, which brought a continuity to the people, a continuity to the land, a sharing of the fire. And so at this time for yourselves, can you actually open to having some joy in your life? Can you bring forth the merrymaking within yourselves? What do you enjoy doing? What's fun? Let's put intensity to one side. Let's just play. Let's play. Let's connect with others and have fun. You know, put cream on each other's faces if you need to, but just play, play. Enjoy the energies that are there. Everything is growing. In the fields around me, I have the lambs, I have the calves, I have the foals. It's beautiful to see the growth and life that is going on around us all. And for those of you, our family in the Northern Hemisphere, you are stepping in to the time of the ancestors, the time of closing in and closing down. And so we hold that balance with you. We hold that balance, and I send you all my love and my blessings and my Bealtaine blessings. May we all move forward together in light, with love, and truly in the presence of life. Many blessings.